Well, hey there team, welcome back to the channel and welcome to Destroyer, the U-Boat Hunter. So this looks pretty cool. There's a lot of U-boat games out there, well not a lot, but it's a bit of a cult niche of hunting around. It lends itself to a cool gameplay loop. I haven't really played many U-boat games. Here and there, I should, because I feel like I'd really enjoy them more if I got into them. I'm becoming much more open to simulation games these days, and this is obviously on the flip side of it. Where you're fighting on the other side of it, which is cool, and as far as I understand, it's fairly untapped territory. So, let's have a squiz, let's see what it's about. Who knows, maybe we'll turn into a playthrough, we'll see. Tutorial, do you want to start? I do, because I don't know anything. At the best of times, let alone when it comes to hunting submarines. Well, nothing that I can talk about. Loading, let's go. Though I suppose things are very, very different these days. Compared to this is set in World War II. The basics of anti-submarine warfare.
The Atlantic took place in the 1940s.
Right.
During that time, most U-boats were still diesel-electric, and so could not stay submerged for prolonged periods of time.
Correct. Statement is true.
You're very likely to detect them on the surface using radar before they close in for the attack.
Okay.
Once a U-boat submerges, you can no longer detect it using radar.
Yep.
You will have to use sonar instead.
Okay, yes.
Unlike radar, the sonar of the 1940s had to be pointed in the appropriate direction in order to detect the enemy.
Yep.
Bear that in mind when you lose radar contact with the enemy. And, most importantly, remember this. Radar works only for surfaced contacts, while sonar works only for submerged contacts.
This is a great tutorial for someone that doesn't understand these concepts.
The 1940 sonar also has a dead zone right under your destroyer, which is crucial to remember.
That makes sense.
The most important thing you need to understand, however, is that everything at sea is ruled by the compass. Consequently, every instrument, report, and command also refers to it.
Sure.
It works just like the clock, with 000 or 360 at the top, 090 on the right, 180 at
I actually
the bottom,
really appreciate how
on the left.
low level this
These
is. This is good.
codes are called bearings.
This is how
and
you
they
get
refer to the
non-sweaty
cardinal
fucking
points.
losers.
000,
Well, not because they're already playing the game.
360
This is how you
north,
get normal normies like me
090 is the east, 180 is
in
the
before
south,
some prick writes me a wall of
270 is
text
the
telling
west.
me, well, you know, if you're into this genre,
So
you'd
there's a
already know.
contact at bearing
This
090.
This
It
is
means
good.
that it
This is good for
located
newbies.
East of our position.
Correct.
This
Good.
system allows the crew to quickly exchange information regarding where the enemy has been detected, what course to take, and so on.
And so on.
Once you
And so
understand
forth.
it quickly becomes second nature. In summary, the most important information for you will always be the position of the currently tracked enemy, which is given in bearings, which direction, and ranges, how far away from your position.
Or not yards. We're going to be fucking changing that.
The last thing you need to know is how to execute a successful depth charge attack.
Drop it on his head.
The problem consists in hitting a moving object in 3D space with a weapon that has a considerable delay between being fired and hitting the target.
Yes. Oh, got him! That'll rattle your fillings out of your teeth. Alright.
In general, the attack has to be made in such a way as to drop the depth charges with a lead ahead of the U-boat's bow.
Okay, well, this is all pretty, you know, doesn't seem too complicated. Let's go. Graduate me from submarine hunter school and let's get amongst
What
it.
is more, the depth charge fuse must be set for shallow, medium, or deep.
Yeah.
Bear in mind that the deeper you set the fuse, the longer it takes the depth charges to reach the set depth.
Oh, because physics.
The optimal time to drop depth charges is calculated by an analog computer called the Tactical Range Recorder.
Oh, wow.
It measures the speed of closing the distance between your destroyer and the target, and will help you to decide when to give the order to fire.
Oh, that's
Because
fantastic.
of that, pay close attention to what the tutorial says about using the TRR, as it
Okay.
will make the difference between success and failure. In reality, the chances of hitting a U-boat with depth charges were rather slim, but due to the devastating effects that even close misses had on the submarine's morale, harassing and suppressing the U-boat was often enough to make its crew abandon further attack attempts, at least for some time.
Fair enough.
Now that you understand the most essential facts about anti-submarine warfare in the Second World War,
Yeah.
you can proceed with the tutorial.
Thank you. Oh, that wasn't even it. Oh my god. Welcome to the tutorial. There's bridges where you control the destroyer's maneuvers. Let's start with changing the ship's speed. You can do through engine auto telegraph. Fantastic. There it is there. Oh, I click on it. Oh, ahead full. Yeah, oh wait, what do you want me to do? Right, we were sailing. Click on ahead standard. Oh, right,
engines
sorry.
ahead standard.
My
All
apologies.
engines ahead standard. Aye, sir.
That's the way to do it. Observe how the speed change. Yeah, okay. All right, I see. Speed. 14 knots. Okay. More speed options. However, remember that ahead full and ahead flank, you won't be able to use the sonar. Oh, okay. Fair enough. You also bring up the engine auto telegraph by pressing W or S. You can set your speed. Okay. Select S. And then press enter. Is that what we're saying? I'm pressing enter. I'm literally pressing enter. Game. Oh, hang on. Maybe I'm pressing it on the wrong thing. And into the desired speed. Stop.
All engines ahead 1/3.
All engines ahead 1/3.
Must have been
Aye,
1/3.
sir.
I probably didn't read it properly. My bad. Sorry. This compass is currently showing the course as magnetic north, right? Course relates to bearings. So if your course is 0, you're heading northward. Well, yes. Okay. A few different ways to steer the ship. First is by the helm. Yeah. Click and hold left and mouse wheel and drag it. Fully to the left, hey? Okay. Observe how the helm indicator has changed position. Excellent. We're now turning left. Right. Very useful for keeping the destroyer turn and giving radius. Make 35-degree turn by... oh, you can just click on it?
Hard right rudder.
Hard right rudder. Aye, sir.
35 degrees, the starboard wheel on. Ah! Scarlet has the con. Alright, observe how the course is changing. Click 0. Midships!
Rudder amidships.
Hey!
Aye, sir.
Let's go. Alright, you can also steer from any station by holding A or D. Press... okay. And then press enter to confirm. Alright, select 20 degrees. And then
Rudder
hit enter.
20 degrees right.
Rudder 20 degrees right. Aye, sir.
Just start with 20, but that's fine, whatever. Alright. Click on the course change button. You know, the Americans might do it differently, so who can say? I had limited, but I did actually cross paths with the American Navy, and I can tell you, they're all fucking psychopaths, but, you know, in the best possible way. Well done. Convenient, you can change your course. Course change button. Oh, what's this? Oh, and I can 010
New
enter.
course 010.
Oh, okay. That's actually pretty handy, that fidelity. Let's go. Let's move on to attack. So it's all going to be in first person. Is that what's going on? This is cool.
Surface radar has a new contact.
Enemy U-boat has been
Bearing
detected. Look out! To attack first, let's
5,
take...
6,
okay.
Range 3,200 yards.
Yeah.
Bridge combat. New surface contact.
Current
from
target
radar.
bearing in relation
Bearing
to it,
0,
as well as
5,
magnetic
6,
north. Okay,
range
sure.
3,200 yards. I designate contact. Able. Time 0, 7.
Stop talking. It's hard for me to speak when you're talking. A
Contact
quick glance is all you need. If
now
your target
bears
bearing
0,
is aligned with
5,
the bow
7,
of the ship's
range
silhouette, then you're steering
3,000
right
yards.
way to pursue the target. Additionally, the radar man is now regularly reporting the target's data. Okay, sure. Let's use these coordinates as well as your target's bearing to indicate to close the distance. Get within 2,000 yards. Why the fuck does it have to be yards? Increase
Contact.
your
Able. Now bears
speed
0,
and steer to the
5,
contact in
8,
front of you.
range
Listen to the
2,800
radar man. I have to talk
yards.
over you. Listen to the radarman and assign the course to match. Adjust the course to what he says. Okay, well, what's he saying? 058. So, let's just go 058.
New course 058.
Course 0, 5, 8. Aye, sir.
Alright, ahead standard as well.
Contact. Able. Now bears 0, 5, 9er. Range 2,600 yards.
059 confirm.
059.
Course 0, 5.
Why does my guy
9.
say
Aye,
bad
sir.
retail and the other guy says good? Doesn't matter. Who cares? Who cares, Scarlet? It's a fucking video game. Increase, listen to the bearing. They're saying 2,600 yards, 2,000 yards. That's fine.
Contact Able now bears 060. Range 2,300 yards.
Let's go, baby.
Course 060. Aye, sir.
2,300 yards.
All engines ahead, 1/3.
Yeah,
All
good.
engines ahead,
Save me the problem.
Aye, sir.
Maneuvering skills are on point. Thank you, thank you.
Contact Able.
It's one of the few
now
things in the
bears
video game that I've actually done in real
059er.
life.
Range
But anyway,
1,900 yards.
in any case, a good tip for beginners is to listen to the radar man and adjust your course to the bearing he provides. Provided that the course is the easiest way to get... follow that course. Following that course is the easiest way to get close to the enemy. Fair enough. Before we leave the
Contact
bridge,
Able now
take a look around by
bears
holding down the left mouse
058.
button and moving the mouse.
Range
Oh.
1,600 yards.
So I sit on the con, do I? I mean, it is a game, but it's a little bit, it's a bit strange, but that's fine. Click on combat to move to the CIC. Oh, I go to, okay, so I go to all the different stations. This is making me want to play Carrier Command 2 again as well. Put that in a comment, please, and I'll put it back in rotation. It's a good game, I can't help myself.
Able now
The
bears
radar shows surface
056.
contacts. You may want to take a look at it anytime you need an up-to-date picture of the situation on the surface. You can use the radar to check your position in relation to the convoy, as well as your current escort positions and service U-boat positions. See how you can track your own maneuvers versus enemy maneuvers. Click on, oh, we're going to do some Relval. This is exciting.
Able now bears 0.
Click on DRT.
Range 1,100
The Dead
yards.
Reckoning Tracer will help you plan your maneuvers in relation to the enemy. The moving lights under the glass surface represents our destroyer. Our destroyer and his bearings on the outer circumference to help you decide which course to take.
50.
Okay.
Range 900 yards.
This dot represents it's the closest thing to plotting fixes that I think we're ever going to get in a game. I've always wondered why they never did that sort of... Well, it doesn't matter. We're playing Salt. Salt does sort of. Anyway. The dots represent our destroyer's position. Crosses represent the
Contact
U-boat's
Able
position.
now
Alright?
bears 0.
Positions can change in relation to each other
700 yards.
within the passage of time. Yeah, how often do we... Does this plot every... Like, are we doing 2-minute fixes or something? There are 2 scales that you can switch between. As soon as the enemy is below 1,000 yards, we recommend you switch to the 1 to 100 yard
Contact
scale.
Able now bears 032.
Oh, shit.
Range 500 yards.
1 to 100. Okay. You can drag the moving light by holding down the left mouse button, allowing you to scroll the plot around. Oh, look at that.
Contact Able now bears 004. Range 300
Yeah,
yards.
this fucking thing's in the way though. You can zoom in and out as well as scroll the camera around. How do I scroll the camera around? Spin the wheel to zoom in and out, or press it to... Ah, that's what I was looking for. Using Dead Reckoning manually can be a lot of fun for seasoned naval warfare veterans, but quite difficult for new players. Therefore, the DRT auto plot is activated by default. Oh shit! You can actually plot them yourself. Oh, I was just... Okay, like, this isn't nav fixes, but this is close enough. I like this a lot. But quite difficult for new players. Therefore, yeah, you can always change your settings by pressing escape and deactivating auto plot in options. To learn all about DRT, open the options menu and click the question mark. No, that's fine. That's fine. Now that you know all about DRT, we can proceed with shooting the guns. Okay, cool. Well, it looks like we've overshot him by the look of it. Gun director. Oh, this is cool! The gun director has the optics and radar system to control the main 5-inch gun battery. You can look around through the optics by holding down left mouse button and moving the mouse around. Yes. Fire these bad boys in anger. Let's go. Shooting at a surfaced U-boat will cause it to dive. You can even damage it with a bit of luck, but most U-boat captains will order a crash dive the moment you start firing. Try shooting a few rounds, click on radar aim, to aim the gun
900
battery
yards.
at the currently engaged target. Is that what this is? Or the arrow's in the way?
Start tracking contact.
Hey, there we go.
Target bearing 2, 6, 4, range 1,000 yards.
Yeah. Guns are turning to aim. Oh,
Contact
okay, they're
able.
still.
Now bears 2, 6, 3.
There we go.
Range
Yeah, fire.
1,100 yards.
Let him have it.
Target acquired.
You can also change ammunition and fire star shells into the air. Star shells are illumination rounds. They're used to increase your lookout's range of vision. If you can't find the U-boat with radar or sonar, but suspect that it is somewhere close by and preparing for an attack, try launching a few star shells.
Contact able.
Chances are your
Now
lookouts will
bears
spot 'em.
2,
Yeah, okay, that's cool.
6, 1. Range 1,300 yards.
Load star shells. Illuminate 2, 6, 1. Target.
Oh,
bearing 2, 6,
this is
1.
great.
1,000.
Last but not least is the searchlight. You can turn it on and off and it will illuminate the enemy periscope for the lookouts, assuming you can find it. Once you illuminate the periscope, the searchlights will snap to it, and you'll receive reports from lookouts as long as they can see it. Okay.
Range 1,600 yards.
Target bearing 2, 6,
Alright,
0.
sonar.
Range 1,500 yards.
This is fantastic. I'm having a great time. Let's take a look at the sonar console. The thing to note here
Lost
is the
contact.
round plate
Able.
with the
Last
bearings
bearing.
you can
2,
use to control
5,
the sonar
8.
head.
Last range
Yeah.
1,500
Simply
yards.
click on the sonar indicator and drag it left or right. Yeah. Are you talking about this? Or maybe I'm not allowed to touch it just yet. This lets you choose which direction to send your pings. If you find a U-boat, the sonar operator will immediately start reporting on it, and he will keep tracking the target as long as possible. Right, okay. In order to find a U-boat, you can order a 90-degree or 180-degree search arc. This is much more convenient than searching manually. Alright, okay.
Sonar, combat, investigate arc. 3, 1.
Good,
5,
now let's
through 0,
try
4,
setting up a
5.
search arc from
Combat
315 to
sonar. Investigating arc.
045.
3, 1, 5.
The sonar
through
pointer
0,
will now continue
4,
moving left and right
5.
with each pin.
Sonar eye.
Oh, hang on. Let's set up a bigger search arc from 270 to 90.
Sonar. This is the captain. Investigate arc. 3, 3, 7.
I'm not exactly sure how I
1,
set that arc
5,
specifically,
7.
but whatever.
Investigating arc. 3.
See if we can
Combat
catch a
sonar.
U-boat.
New sonar contact.
There we go, we found him.
0,
Yes, we've got something. It's probably the one we
9,
spotted on the
range,
surface.
900
Now observe
yards.
the window
Combat
in the
sonar.
upper right
Contact.
part of the
Able.
console.
Now
Yeah.
bears 0.
This is a small
5,
tactical
9,
range recorder.
range, 900
By
yards.
looking at
Click
it,
on
you
right
can
cut.
see whether you are going toward or away from the target. If the graph is leaning to the left... Are you talking about this? Oh, okay, it's not leaning at all.
Combat sonar. Contact. Able.
If the graph is
Now
leaning to the
bears
left, we're getting
0,
closer. If the graph is leaning to the right, we're
5,
going farther away.
Range 900
Alright.
yards. Very strong propeller noise.
Is that what you're telling me? Very strong. If the okay. Important element is the round CRT display on the left. Here you can observe the bearing drift, how strongly the target is moving left or right. While this isn't crucial information, it can help you determine your next maneuver.
Combat sonar. Contact. Able. Now bears 0.
The last option
5, 9,
at the sonar
range,
station is your bearing
900
mode, either
yards.
true or
Estimated
relative.
depth, shallow.
The default is true bearing mode, where 360 is always north. However, if you switch to relative bearings, the ship's bow becomes 0. Okay, right, that'd be helpful for minor adjustments. And all bearings are then given in relation to it. Relative bearings are very convenient once you start approaching
Combat
the target,
sonar.
but you do not
Contact.
have to use
Able.
that option if
Now
you prefer to
bears
stick to true
0,
bearings.
5, 8.
Please remember the
Range,
sonar won't work at
900
speeds above
yards.
standard.
Estimated
Yeah,
depth,
click on
shallow.
combat. Right, okay. And so it's behind us there. We're back in combat, and now we're going to have a look at the own ship's course and bearing projector.
Combat sonar. Contact. Able. Now bears 0.
This device
5,
is somewhat
8,
similar.
range, 900 yards. Very strong propeller noise.
Oh, is he just sitting? Oh, I thought okay. No. These are old pips, I think. Oh, I'm not sure. Whatever. This device is somewhat similar to the bearing indicator you learned about in the bridge. Here, however, you can mark the current U-boat position in order to track how it is changing with
Combat sonar.
time in
Contact.
relation to
Able.
your
Now
destroyer.
bears 0,
Because of that, the
5, 8,
OSC
range,
is very useful
900 yards.
during the
Estimated
last
depth,
stages
shallow.
of the attack. Yeah, okay. The line extending from the center of the ship's silhouette marks where the sonar is pointing. Yeah, seen. Therefore, whenever the sonar has contact, you can immediately see which direction it is located. In terms of distance, each ring denotes 100 yards.
900 yards. Bearing steady.
Okay. Oh, right, the dotted rings. Got it. This device, just like the DRT, can be used to manually or in autopilot mode. Yeah, no, that's fine. Yep. Now that you can track the enemy at close range, let's learn how to arm and fire depth charges. Okay. Let's go back to the sonar room. Oh my god, this is very complicated. I like it.
Able. Now
Now select the tactical range recorder.
5, 8. Range.
Alright, we saw this earlier.
Yards.
2
Estimated
pieces of
depth,
information.
shallow.
The speed of your destroyer and the depth of the U-boat. These two parameters will be used, need to be set on the scale here. Okay, right. We're now heading toward the U-boat. The course and speed have been set automatically for the purpose of the tutorial. Fair enough, that
Combat
seems
sonar.
reasonable.
Contact. Able.
In order to drop
Now
depth
bears
charges, we must
0,
first
5,
ready them.
7. Range 900 yards.
Set the depth
Estimated
for
depth,
our barrage. Set shallow. Now let's select the spread. Concentrated.
Ready depth charges. Shallow pattern.
Our depth charges are being armed, which takes a while. If necessary, you can change the parameters before launching. Yep, okay.
Combat
As with a lot
sonar.
of
Contact.
devices in this
Able.
game, TRR
Now
works
bears
automatically by
0,
default, but you can
5,
change it.
8.
Yep, that's fine.
Range
Let's. That's
900
kind of cool that
yards.
there's sort of
Estimated depth, shallow.
automated and in sweat mode, and we can work our way up to that, I suppose. Once depth and speed are set, you should rotate the transparent plexiglass piece so that its red lines align with the graph drawn by the TRR. Try rotating
Combat
the
sonar.
plexiglass.
Contact. Able. Now
Yeah.
bears 0, 5, 9. Range
Ah,
900
has to be
yards.
aligned with the
Bearing
glass this way. For the purpose of the tutorial, it is done automatically. So you can see how to
All
do it
engines
correctly.
ahead. 2/3.
All engines ahead, 2/3. Aye, sir.
Okay, I'm not 100% across what you're saying.
steady. Combat
Oh, it's
sonar.
doing it
Contact.
for me.
Able. Now bears
Or
0,
something.
6,
And then give the order to
0.
fire
Range
as soon as the
800
graph's
yards.
left side
Bearing steady.
shows beneath the dotted line. Oh, like now? Wait until fire now. Oh, right. Okay. I think I
Combat
get it.
sonar. Contact. Able. Now bears 0, 6, 0. Range 600 yards. Estimated depth shallow.
Let's go. Let's go.
Combat sonar. Contact. Able. Now bears 0, 6, 0. Range 400
So when these
yards.
pips
Very strong propeller noise.
go under this line, I think is what it's saying. Let's go, baby.
Combat sonar. Contact. Able.
Oh, that's
Now
cool. It does
bears
picture in picture
0,
when you're
6,
about there.
0. Range 200 yards. Estimated depth shallow.
Wait for it. Wait for it. Now.
Combat
Oh,
sonar.
maybe next one.
Contact. Able. Now bears 2,
Fire 1.
4, 0. Range 30
Bloodhound
yards.
is attacking.
Bearing steady.
Contact able.
Fire 2.
Combat sonar. Lost contact. Able. Last bearing 2.
We got 'em.
4,
Fire
0.
3.
Last range
Oh!
30 yards.
Yeah. Bit anticlimactic there. I like the explosions, they're cool. We're actually just going to crack it. Okay, well, if the game says it's done, let's move on to lookout stations. Okay, cool. Click on lookouts. These posts give you the best view of maneuvering when you're in close range to the convoy. Your lookouts will
Surface radar has a new contact.
warn you of possible
Bearing
collisions,
2,
and they'll spot periscopes and
5,
torpedo
range
wakes if visibility permits.
3,500
They'll also
yards.
report on
Range
oil
comment.
slicks and
New
debris,
surface
which are
contact
signs
from
of hits
radar.
scored against a
Bearing
U-boat.
2,
At night, your star shells and searchlights from the gun director can increase their efficiency and spotting range. You can look freely around, pressing and holding left mouse button. Move around. You can also zoom by clicking the binoculars button. Let's go back to combat. This station lists all the enemy contacts that have been detected so far, as well as their most recent information. This can be quite useful, especially if you lost contact and want to re-establish it. Click on contacts. So this is the new contact there, and that's the one we killed, I guess. This is also where you select your contacts you wish to engage. Contact will be reported on regularly. Any remaining contacts will be reported on only when contact is lost or regained, or when attacks have been made. Moreover, the DRT and the OSC stations will track only the selected contact, and the gun director will target it when you engage radar aim. Okay, that's fine. So one at a time. As you can see, we have 2 contacts already. Select contact Bravo, Baker. Fuck off. Good, we are switching focus onto contact Baker. So all regular reports and plotting will switch to it. Remember to always select the contact you wish to engage here. Let's go to tactical. Oh man, this is sick. Tactical station shows big picture and allows you to command the remaining assets in your force. A destroyer's call sign is Bloodhound. Antler, Mountie, Hockey, and Maple are the remaining escorts, and Black Cat is your air support, which is available temporarily. Depending on the size of the battle, all 4 remaining escorts may not be present. A destroyer is located in the center. Your escort units are yellow circles, and convoy ships are represented by yellow dots. Okay, yep. So this is the convoy here, and Maple and all that are escorts. So maybe they're just little frigates or something.
Now
right?
bears 275, range 3,600 yards.
Note that the station is updated once every 60 seconds, representing a single person would need time to draw all the updated. 60-second fixes is pretty intense, but I suppose when you're on the pointy end, that's how it goes. To command an escort unit, first click to select it, and then either click anywhere in the boardroom to relocate the ship, or click on the latest enemy position to attack that contact. Right. Click on Antler and relocate it. Let's try relocating him to a different position.
Antler.
Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie regained.
We'll send Mountie to attack B.
243, range 1,300 yards from Bloodhound. Roger.
Additionally, when you select an escort unit, you can adjust its sonar search arc by clicking on it to change its width. Select Mabel.
1,300 yards from Bloodhound.
Maple reporting.
Hang on.
Contact Baker.
Oh.
Now bears 2,
Mabel's now searching the assigned
7,
arc.
0,
Adjust the search arc will come in handy if you need to find a lost
3,700
contact.
Bloodhound, this is Black.
Oh, so much! If you attack a single contact with 2 escort ships or assist another escort in their hunt, the chance of success rises exponentially. Alright, so they're destroyers as well. I understand. A well-coordinated attack can be much more effective, as 2 ships exchange plotting information if any of them lose contact with their target, but it's important to watch out for collisions and to avoid concentrating too much of your force on a single enemy. The last asset at your disposal is air support. It is your guardian angel, and depending on how you use it can make the difference between victory and defeat. Air support is your fastest unit, and it poses a huge threat to the U-boats. It can execute a single depth charge attack, but once the payload has been dropped, it can still harass U-boats with its machine guns. Its presence alone will make U-boats dive to avoid potential attacks, slowing them down and denying them freedom of operation. Yes, see how it works. Black Clat is represented by a blue U,
Black Cat reporting.
and give it order to relocate
Roger.
here.
Black Cat on the way to
Now let's attack contact C.
Black Cat, this is Bloodhound.
Downside of air support is that it is only available for a limited period of time. Pay close attention to radio traffic and watch out for messages from Black Clat. It will let you know when it's approaching your convoy. You can take it into consideration when you're planning your surface escort attacks. Okay, before we finish, there's one more bit of crucial information.
Black Cat.
If you take a look at all the devices that use the bearing system, you'll see they essentially show the same thing. A ring bearing with your destroyer in the center. Therefore, its most essential skill is to need to learn is to cross-reference and compare data between various stations. Well, yeah, we're talking about like essentially origin and point of reference. This is not unique to this. For example, if you lose radar or sonar contact, quickly switch over to the DRT. It will tell you where to search for the sonar. When maneuvering around the convoy, you should get in the habit of checking the tactical station, the radar. All of these devices serve different purposes, but they utilize the same system. They are your eyes and ears. Yeah, exactly. Right?
This is Black Cat. Drop depth charges.
Use them well, and you'll
Attack.
always know what's going on. Right? Ignore them, and you'll blah blah blah. Okay. You know everything to play the bloody game. Very good. Oh my god. This is a very
There are
intense
three
tutorial,
elements that are
but
absolutely crucial to
thorough,
U-boat
I would
tactics.
say. Well done.
Speed, flanking, and the element of surprise.
okay.
Let's
Wait,
begin
is there
with
more?
speed.
What the fuck?
A submerged U-boat is roughly as fast as the convoy, so
Yeah.
it cannot effectively catch up on it from behind. It would first need to surface to make more speed, yet at the cost of being attacked by escort gunfire. Therefore, the most dangerous kind of enemy is the clever U-boat captain who approaches submerged from the front of the convoy, maintaining the element of surprise, unless you detect him with the sonar. Most enemy captains, however, will approach the convoy on the surface, for reasons already mentioned in the ASW 101 video. As for flanking, torpedoes had the highest chance of hitting the target when fired at the so-called broadside, i.e. not at the bow or the stern of the target, but at its side.
Right.
It's made for a much larger target. If you allow a U-boat to assume a flanking position within 1,500 yards of the convoy,
Yeah.
and give it enough time at periscope depth, they will be able to shoot whole salvos of well-aimed torpedoes,
Yeah.
potentially sinking a few merchant ships in one fell swoop. Also, the Wolfpack tactics used by U-boats were based on advantage in numbers in an attempt to swarm and overwhelm the escorts by
Yeah.
attacking from multiple directions at the same time. This was supposed to create a shock effect and confuse the escorts by creating chaos and giving them more targets that they could handle at a time. In order to help you prevent that, here is a handful of tactical advice.
Oh, here we go. The ship. All right. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
best area for U-boats to attack from are the convoy flanks. Prevent them from sneaking into good firing positions, and convoy survivability will rise exponentially. U-boats approaching submerged from the front of the convoy can be a nasty surprise. Whenever possible, maintain at least minimal sonar coverage aimed towards the front of the convoy.
Right.
If you manage to attack and suppress a U-boat long enough, it will stay submerged and will eventually end up behind the convoy. If that is the case, it will be almost impossible for it to catch up without surfacing, and its threat will have been nullified, at least for some time.
Right.
Try to attack U-boats as far away from the convoy as possible. However, once they break through, make sure to recall your escorts, close the formation, and aggressively defend the flanks. The U-boats will attempt to exploit any holes in your defenses to get there.
This
Fire
is-
multiple torpedoes.
I wouldn't have
So if
imagined any of
U-boats
this
break
being this
through into
complex
zone,
in a
attack
game.
them with all your might, or their torpedoes will start to wreak havoc in the convoy. Sooner or later, you will be able to determine the main vector of the attack. Once
Yeah.
that happens, relocate more escorts there from the other flank of the convoy as soon as possible. Bear in mind that such formation changes will take a while, so try not to jump the gun, as it may cost you a lot of time later to reverse a bad decision. Whenever possible, attack a U-boat with more than one ship. Also, try coordinating your attacks with other escorts. Just watch out for collisions, and you will be fine. If multiple U-boats break through and swarm the convoy flanks, chaos will ensue and you will start losing ships. Don't panic and stay on your toes, as this is the most difficult time of the battle. When
Right.
it comes, make sure your escorts are prioritizing the right targets, and try not to get lost in the entanglement. If you make it through this difficult
So,
part, you will most
I don't
likely
think I can
succeed in
move
suppressing and repelling
The merchant
enemy.
vessels at all.
If you start losing ships, don't panic. Check the radar or the tactical station in combat. Deduce where the torpedo may have come from, and make a strong presence in the area to prevent the U-boat from taking further shots on the convoy.
Right.
Use air support to harass U-boats that are beyond your reach, or quickly relocate it to suppress multiple U-boats when they get dangerously close to the convoy's flank. Remember that air support will force a U-boat to submerge, thus preventing it from firing its torpedoes. Some U-boat captains will submerge and hide under the convoy, or even try to sneak to the other flank. This is a bad situation for you, as it is very dangerous to track and attack U-boats within the convoy due to a high probability of collisions. And lastly, be aggressive and do not let the enemy take the initiative. The longer you hesitate, the more time you are giving the U-boats to reach optimal firing positions and aim their torpedoes. Harass them, never let up, and focus all your assets to the fullest. That concludes the presentation of U-boat and escort tactics.
Right, okay, cool. Well, bit of a lengthy intro to the game, but a thorough one. Very happy with that. Now, there's no campaign. There seems to be a battle sort of thing. We don't have time to jump into that at the moment. It's a small battle, medium, large. That's kind of cool. Random time of day, course, and weather condition. I like that. I like this sort of random... I bang my drum. I don't like sandbox games terribly when it's too meandering and too much freedom. But this sort of plonking me in a randomly generated scenario consistently that's tricky, and you have an objective within that. It's good. It's infinite gameplay ability, I suppose. Anyway, we will have to test that out on the next one. If there will be a next one, you got to let me know, team. If you don't give a shit and you don't find this game interesting, well, I guess we won't make any more episodes. But if people do want to see some more, I'm happy to chip away at it and dig a bit deeper. Anyway, let's finish it up there. Might just leave it there for the time being, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.
It'll put you in the pink, and all you have to do is drink, drink, drink.